Hello, welcome to this video with some latest events in the province. Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of August 2nd, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, member of the Party Central Committee, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, and delegates of the People's Council of the province and TayNinhTV City have a meeting with voters of Ward 3.
Voters of Ward 3 reflected on traffic problems such as not obeying traffic light signals and road markings, the degraded and damaged road surface, wrongly parking cars, causing obstruction of sight, and unsafety for road users. In addition, voters also complained about flooding in the rainy season, the tilted power pole, potentially posing a risk of electrical insecurity in residential areas, as well as those related to operating the office and considering for renting land use right certificates for state-owned house to the remaining households so that people can feel secure in stabilizing their life, continuing to review and manage public land in the area to have an effective and appropriate use land. Voters' opinions have been observed, explained by the city's leaders, and asked relevant functional departments to survey, check, and promptly handle them. In the morning of August 2, Standing Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, head of the delegation of the National Assembly of the province, Phạm Hồng Thái, attended and presented the party badge to two party members at the Party Committee of Gia Bình Ward, Trong Bang Thảo. At the ceremony, on behalf of the Provincial Party Standing Committee, Mr. Phạm Hồng Thái presented the 40-year party membership badge to party member Vương Văn Trợ, born in 1961, former Deputy Director of the Department of Justice, and party member Nguyễn Văn Son, born in 1958. Both of them are currently in the party branch at Bình Nguyên 2 quarter under the Party Committee of Gia Bình Ward, Trong Bang Thảo. Mr. Phạm Hồng Thái respectfully acknowledged the contributions of party members in party building, as well as in the process of building and developing TayNinhTV homeland. In the afternoon of August 1st, Mr. Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, together with the delegation of the People's Councils of the province and Goyao District. At the meeting, voters of Hiệp Thành Commune gave opinions to rural road opening for people to travel, reopening the road in some rural hamlets because it can be shown on the administrative map to avoid the danger caused by the dump truck carrying soil, operating power lines, concretizing the end of two canal routes, and 813 and 815, consideration for opening a day boarding class at Kaya Primary School. Representatives of local government leaders and functional branches responded to voters' opinions and recommendations and recorded a number of responses to voters in the coming time.
In the morning of August 2nd, the Culture Social Emulation Block opened the 2023 Sport Festival. Attending the events, there were Mr. Lê Thành Công, Provincial Member, Standing Deputy Head of the Provincial Party Committee's Propaganda Department, Member of the Provincial Emulation Combination Council, in charge of Culture Social Block.
The sports festival took place ebulliently through for competitions, slow cycling, deer jumping, karaoke, and cooking competition, attracting the participation of many civil servants, officials, and employees from 5 units in the block, including TayNinhTV Radio and Television Station, Education and Training, Health Department, Department of Labor in Village and Social Affairs, and Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism. The Sports Festival helps to promote its strength and tighten the solidarity among civil servants, officials, and employees of the block's members, contributing to the silent completion of political tasks in 2023. TayNinhTV's department had just announced the results and rules of awarding prize to lucky individuals and organizations of the Lucky Invoice program in the second quarter of 2023 in the province. Accordingly, the detailed results of each award are publicly announced on the website of the tax department at TayNinhTVToday.gov.vn. fan page of the tax department and on the mass media. The awarding of prize will be made at TayNinhTV tax department, address 226 April 30 Street, Worry, TayNinhTV City, TayNinhTV Province. In case the winner cannot attend to receive the prize directly at the tax department, he or she may authorize, according to the law, to another people to receive the prize on his or her behalf. Deadline for receiving rewards is within 30 days from the date of announcement of the results of the Lucky Invoice program of this time. In the morning of August 2nd, 2023, VNPT held an awarding ceremony for the Lucky Draw program, Hunting iPhone with Home, celebrating the big holiday for new subscribers to a home package with a new fiber VNN or MyTV component. It is a promotion program of VNPT that took place from April 1st, 2023 to May 31st, 2023. There are 60 awards with a total value of 150 million Việt Nam đồng. Mr. Nguyễn Công Danh, Deputy Director of VNPT Business Center, TayNinhTV, awarded the first prize of one iPhone 14 Pro Max 128GB to Mr. Đặng Nhất Phong in Phước Lợi Hamlet, Phước Vinh, Cam Ranh, Châu Thành District. The organizers also awarded the second prize of one Samsung Smart TV 4K to Miss Huỳnh Ngọc Khánh Vy in Hoa Thanh Thảo and Miss Võ Thị Kim Xuyến in U Minh Châu District. Research prize of one Samsung Smart TV 4K and 54 consolation prize for lucky customers. On August 1st, 2023, the Division of Advisory for Building, Logistics and Engineering held a preliminary conference on demolition movement for Homeland Security in the first 6 months of 2023. Colonel Nguyễn Văn Trải, Director of Provincial Public Security, attended and directed the conference. In the first segment, demolition movements for national security of the units took place actively and spread with many outstanding results and achievements. In the first segment, 36 collective turns, 59 individuals were awarded certificates of merit by the government, the Ministry of Public Security, the Provincial Peace Committee, and the Director of the Provincial Public Security. Discussing at the conference, representatives of units in the division exchanged and shared good experiences and creative ways in implementing and improving the effectiveness of demolition movements for Homeland Security, pointing out the shortcomings, limitations, and directions to overcome in the coming time to promote demolition movement to develop more widely and effectively. Speaking at the conference, Colonel Nguyễn Văn Trải recognized the achievements of the units. At the same time, it is required that in the coming time, the units continue to focus on building, replicating, rising a vast example of good people, good deeds, timely encouraging and rewarding typical new faces in demolition movement, striving to successfully complete assigned political tasks. This agricultural cooperative has 6 members that operate in such fields as agricultural production and business, agricultural products, fruit, electronic and household appliances and accessories. La Hữu Kỳ emphasized that the establishment of Eco-G9 Agricultural Cooperative will make an important contribution to the local socio-economic development. It not only helps farmers have access to the quality seedlings and seeds, but also supports the implementation of the chain of production and consumption of agricultural products in a sustainable way. In the morning of August 2nd, 2023, TayNinhTV City Police cooperated with Long Hoa Gas Company Limited, a rise in workforce. TayNinhTV City organized practice of firefighting and rescue plans. The practice was attended by more than 20 people, including company employees and the fire and rescue police force. The hypothetical situation at 9 a.m. on August 2nd, 2023, a fire broke out at the Long Hoa gas store. The fire started in the gas storage area, caused a fire due to a leaky gas tank, which accumulates in the corner of the house. It encounters a fire source. Upon receiving the news, the fire and rescue police team, TayNinhTV City Police, mobilized a force of 16 officers and 2 fire engines, quickly went to the scene to participate in the firefighting and rescue. After 20 minutes of fighting, the fire was completely extinguished.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the context of the international price markets with many fluctuations, the price of rice is constantly increasing. The crop industry has a plan to increase the area of the winter greens crop to take advantages of the opportunities to export rice. This is information at the press conference of the Ministries of Agriculture and Rural Development, taking place at the end of the afternoon of August 1st, 2023.
According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, by the end of July, most of the production fields have increased production, ensuring an abundant food supply. Particularly, rice production in the whole country is enjoying a good season, with a rice output that can reach a record of 43.4 million tons. It can be said that with the changing world situation, we are firm that we still ensure food security and export about 7 million tons of rice and can be achieved 7.5 million tons. Not worried about domestic food security, but rice market movements are unpredictable. In the context of constantly increasing rice prices and two more countries banning rice export after India, the Vietnam's rice industry is trying to take advantage of opportunities to increase rice export effectively. In order to seize the opportunity, we have arranged to increase the area of winter spring crop in the Mekong Delta from 650,000 to 700,000 hectares to contribute to capturing the opportunity to export rice. The Ministry of Agriculture takes care of production, while it is the responsibility of the Ministry of Industry and Trade. We will coordinate to ensure production and seize the opportunity to export rice. Leaders of the Ministry of Agriculture said that from now until the end of the year, both production and consumption markets exist with both opportunity and challenges, but the Ministry still persists in its role target and strive for the finish with $55 billion in export value. To achieve these results, the Ministry will focus on two key tasks in the last months of the year, including continuing to structure production appropriately, proactively taking measures to respond to natural disaster and epidemic.
The audience green consumption is becoming an inevitable issue when people are aware of the need to change behavior and habits to have positive impact and protect the environment. This is a statistic given at the forum promoting sustainable productions and consumptions in modern distribution system recently held in Hanoi.
To promote sustainable production and consumption, the Ministry of Industry and Trade has submitted to the Prime Minister for promulgation of a decision approving the National Action Programme on Sustainable Production and Consumption for the period of 2021-2030. It emphasized the promotion of sustainable production and consumption on the basis of innovation and the development of sustainable production and consumption models towards the development of a circular economy in Vietnam. In addition, the law on protection of consumer rights amended has also added regulations and policies on promoting sustainable production and consumption. However, in order to promote sustainable production and consumption, it is necessary to have solutions to distribute environmentally friendly products to consumers, as well as train sustainable consumption behavior from consumers. How do consumers perceive this from feeling that this is too far from reality, then it becomes a necessity. For every citizen, every consumer, there must be a sense of rising awareness, turning it into action in green living and healthy living. In this regard, we have a lot of work to do. Starting with stronger, closer, more realistic communication, as well as the retailers' own activities advocating for the inclusion of green, clean, sustainable products in the supermarket system. Nielsen IQ's 2023 survey shows that 49% of consumers bring their own bags using recycled bags. 47% only buy necessary items, avoiding waste. 45% of consumers consciously separate recycled waste and save electricity. The study also clearly shows that consumers expect businesses to take initiatives and take practical actions to improve the environment. Accordingly, 38% of consumers rate initiatives and practical actions of businesses to improve the environment as extremely important.
That's all for today TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.